Updates. Software updates are coming to be all the buzz at the Apple Worldwide Developers Conference next week in San Jose, California. Yahoo Finance tech editor Dan Howley joins us now with a preview. You're going, right?
I'm going.
You're going to be there.
Be there in action.
So this is the off-cycle WWDC, right? The one we're really waiting for. Usually first week, second week of September, we'll call it, where they do new hardware.
Yeah,
so
that's the big one.
what are we looking for next week? What's going to change in my Apple life after next week?
Everything that goes into the hardware. So it's big software event, Apple's big software event. We're going to see updates to iOS. We'll see iOS 13. We'll see an update to macOS running on that bad boy. We'll see an update to watchOS running on this bad boy, and then tvOS. So what we're going to see for iOS 13 is they're going to be doing a lot more tasking features, especially with the iPad. There's also going to be a new dark mode. There's a lot of talk about this being a complete, almost redesign of the way you see iOS. So maybe a change to the home screen from the classic multi-app view. With watchOS, we're looking at maybe a app store on its own, so you can download apps and watch faces to the watch itself.
Yep.
And then for macOS, there's going to be kind of a blending with that in iOS with this marzipan feature that it has.
Can I ask sort of a form with function question here? Because I have an iPhone now that is, I think, 3.5 years out of date. At what point is the OS that they put into iPhones going to render that kind of phone obsolete? Because they always do that. There comes a point when that old iPhone, it doesn't make sense. The icons don't fit, or some features just crash the phone. How close are we to that? What generation is Apple willing to kind of handle right now?
There were rumors that this upcoming version, iOS 13, wouldn't work with iPhone 6 and earlier.
Okay.
So if you have a 6 or 6 Plus, I think SE is around there as well, so you wouldn't be able to use those. That's only a rumor, though, but it could be, because after a while, the phones just hit a wall where the software is more advanced than the hardware, so you got to ditch it and upgrade. But hey, if they cut it off at 8, then a lot more people would buy new iPhones. But it'll be a bunch of fun, new, interesting updates. iMessage is going to change to be more of a competitor for something like WhatsApp, where you get a profile, more emojis probably hitting in there, animojis probably. So it's going to be a lot of fun, and I'm excited to see what they can do with the hardware that they have now, considering that the hardware sales aren't really driving it anymore. Can they push that more with software improvements? That's that would be something interesting to watch.
Well, because we all know it goes down in the group DMs. Right? That's the only place where anything's happening. Also on Apple, a new iPod.
New iPod.
Really?
New iPod Touch.
That's really happening?
Yeah, I mean, they just dropped it out of nowhere. They were like, hey,
I forgot that was a thing.
What year is it?
iPod Touch
is it a retro, a nostalgia play?
No, I really think it's for parents who don't want to get their kids an iPhone right away. There are kids that are in elementary school that have iPhones, which is that's just crazy to me.
Don't give it to them.
Just get them an iPod Touch. They can play, whatever they want with it. They can do anything, but they don't have the access to a cellular network that they might otherwise have with an iPhone. It's also cheaper than an iPhone, so it'll be running the iPhone 7 chip. So it's not going to be as fast as a new iPhone. It's not going to be as expensive. But I think if you want your kid to just get online, if that's their main way of getting on the internet, and you want them to have access to music and games like that, and I think that's a fine investment.
Is that profitable for Apple? I mean, it seems like maybe this is just a way for them to use leftover parts from old iPhones to put together. But I mean, maybe it's a more substantial amount of sales than I actually know. I don't know. What's your insight on that?
I'm sure the margin on it is much better than you would expect from an iPhone. I mean, it's just it's basically a dumb iPhone almost. It's an older iPhone packaging. And, you're not going to get the cellular, which, so you're dropping the chips from that. I'm sure it'll have GPS, but you're going to be using Wi-Fi. The screen probably isn't the best that you're going to get on this. The AMOLED screen, it's probably an older iPhone style display. So they're really going to be pushing this towards consumers that really don't want to drop a ton of cash on a new iPhone for their kids. And that's really, I think, a market that is underserved. And people were doing that for a while with the iPad Touch or iPod Touches. They were just giving them kids and saying, I don't want you to have an iPhone yet. Here's this.